Hey, so this is my final submission for WhereTest activity log brand view. Um, Basically, I'm just gonna go into the solution right now. I already showed how it does it log, but let me show again because now it actually goes to real values, not just hard-coded ones. If we log in as CS brand and go under WhereTest, we can see a bunch of WhereTests, but most of them they don't have any activity logs connected. So I found two that they have. So basically, name goes here and test 56 are working with real values. Probably some other tests, but these two I will use for purpose of this challenge. So let's go. We can see the graph is getting charted and the animation is coming from right. So we can see the graph. We can see all the testers here. Close the console here. All the testers. We can choose an individual tester that deletes all other from the table, or choose this one or this one. The graph is the same for all of them because the values in activity log are all the same. You can see them here. This is because this is just a test data, but it's okay. The graphs are working properly. We can see these do everything as we can with the CS tester view in the chart area. We can see these values. So this should match. This should be 26.6 yeah, because this plus this would match that on that date. So this is working as it should. Now if you're going to the next test, you can see the graph gets replotted, of course, because it has to get re-rendered for the new values. The graph is looking a bit different here because there are just two dates, and we can see a bunch of miles here, and there was a lot of running that day. Yeah. So this is it for this part. Let me just show you that if I log in as CS brand, we still got sorry, not the CS brand, but as CS tester, we still have got this chart which works properly for CloudTrail or whatever purposes we want it to use it. I just want to show you that this works together nicely. It doesn't override some values or something. You can just go into the code and structure here to show you what I did, because I didn't totally join the chart directives because maybe there will be some changes or something like that. But they are completely the same, except I'm using different controllers. So for brand chart directive, there's a chart brand controller, and for tester directive, there is a log chart controller. Otherwise, they should be completely the same. Also, I have to mention I found and fixed some bugs regarding the miles cumulative view and stuff like that, and I fixed it. That's from the 2.37.1 challenge. I fixed those. So basically, this is updated chart directive, which is the same for both of these. Let's go into the controllers. Controllers are here is for the brand activity log chart. For tester chart it is the same from previous challenge, but this one is new. I am basically just using only the chart settings here in the chart controller. Everything else is located in the WhereTest list.js. I think this actually belongs under the brand folder, but I didn't move it because I'm not sure. So yeah, this is where everything happens. Basically, we moved. I added a comment here. We moved from the previous challenge, from the chart.js directive. We moved a bunch of code here, especially for getting data and then creating mappings, because this is in the parent scope and it's used also in the table view, not just in chart. So let me just log in once again. So it's also used not just in this chart. Okay, sorry, this one doesn't have any data, but this one does. Not just here, but also here, and because these two are siblings, they are not child and parent. I had to use controller for fetching data in the parent, and the where test list is a parent, so I'm doing this here. I thought that made more sense than anything else. So what is happening here? Here's a bunch of loops and code, which I actually think it would be cool if we could get these values from the API, but for now it's okay. There are actually 3 per loop. So what does this one do? The first one goes through the activity logs, which we got from the API here. For the specific where test, we got all the activity logs for the where test with this ID, on which one we pressed in the table. So we are looping that activity test, then we are looping the where test, and then we are looping the participants, and we map everything in the where test mapping. And after that, we are running 2 more loops outside, of course, so it's not that intense. There are 3 here and 2 here. And with this mapping, we are actually creating activity log by users object, which contains, let's say, replicated where tests which are connected to the user, so we can actually see this stuff, because one user can belong to multiple tests. That's why this mapping is done here. I hope that is the way it was intended, because if we check the JSON like we did before, we can see that we have multiple participants. So that would be that loop here, or this latest push here, and these participants can belong to multiple where tests, and they have multiple activity logs. So I think that's correct, but it's kind of ugly, so that's why I put a lot of comments here, and I also wanted to explain this mapping. It was also the hardest part of this challenge. Other things are just very similar from previous 2371 challenge for doing chart settings and stuff like that. And there were some adjustments to reset the chart. So basically, when we're clicking on show details method, this resets all the values and the object here, so we can get new graph in. Here's also an example for the hard coding. If maybe this data wouldn't work, but it works now because someone put the data in between. So thanks to that someone. And I think that is it for this challenge. I will also prepare a little bit bigger README, and I will also include the 2371 README, because I had to do all the changes that were made for that challenge. I also had to do them here for that framework. But yeah, that would be almost it. I also had to create the activity log detail view, which contains the table and stuff like that. So yeah, and that is it.